Hello and welcome to this video on multi-threading in Java. Threads, as we know, is a set of code that can be written to save a particular task, and they can run in parallel. At any point, we can have many threads running within a application, and that is called multi-threading. A very good example could be a web server where the clients request for a web page from the server, and the server will run the same set of code for each client at the same time, because many clients could be asking for the same page at the same time. So in this video, we will write a simple program using threads just to print some numbers in parallel. You can follow these lab instructions given in this PDF. Now, before we start writing the code in Java, we will need to have this Java SDK installed on your PCs, right? And you will find that on this link. So if you don't have the JDK, you can go to this link and download and install. Okay, you can open this Oracle homepage, and then you can download the JDK and install that on your PC. And once you have installed the JDK, you will also need to set the path for the JDK, and you will do that in the environment variables, right over here. So once you are done with this, to verify that the JDK has been installed and the path has been set successfully, you can open the CMD to verify that, and you will type Java version, and you should get a message something like this. If you get some error saying Java was not recognized or something like that, that means it was not installed properly or the path has not been set. So make sure you have these messages before proceeding with the lab. And then you will open up your IDE. I'll be using IntelliJ in this video. You can use NetBeans, Eclipse, or any other IDE, and create a new project. So this is a Java project, and you can choose a location, give a name, and save your project. So once your IDE is ready, you will create a new Java class inside your Java folder inside the project, and I will call this main. So we are given a main class, a public class. So in Java, we know all the code that we write has to go in a class, because Java is a fully object-oriented language. And then inside this, we will have a main method. And then just to verify that things are working, we'll do a print out, and let's print hello there. Run, and then you will see that we have this hello there message printed in the terminal. Now to create the class to implement our thread, we will create a new Java file inside the same Java folder, and let's call this thread demo. Let's create some variables inside this thread demo class. One would be the thread variable, which will create the instance or have the instance of the thread. And then second one, we can have a string variable, which would be the name of the thread. Then we have the constructor, and the constructor name will be the same name as the class name, which is thread demo. And inside the constructor, let's pass a parameter, which will be the name of the thread. And then we'll initialize the name of the thread to whatever was passed in the parameter. And then we can print a message saying that we are creating this particular thread. Now to implement our thread class, we will need to implement some methods inside this class. And to do that, we need to implement the runnable interface for us to be able to run this class as a thread. Now you will notice that we are getting some error over here in the first line. And if I hover on that, it says that we need to implement our the run method in this runnable class. So to fix the error, we will need to implement those methods. That is the run method. And this is where the logic of the code goes in. So whatever you need to run as a thread, then you will need to write that part of the code inside this run method. So for this purpose, let's write a for loop that is going to print numbers from, let's say, 1 to 10, and then system.out.println and print I. And we will have to implement one more method, and that is the start method. So public void start, and inside this method we are going to create the instance of the thread, and then we can print a message to indicate that we are starting the thread in this function. So this is the name of the thread, and it's going to print the starting and then whatever the name of the thread is. Now we have a variable over here for thread, and that is not initialized, so we can inside this start function check to see if the value of that is null. If that is, then what we will do is create a new thread and assign that to that thread variable. We need to pass some information inside this function, and one of them is this context, and the other one we can pass the name of the thread, and then we will say t dot start to start the thread. So to run the thread, we will need to create an instance of the thread demo class in this main method. Let's call it t1 and assign that to a new thread demo. We'll give the name as I, and then to start the thread, we will call the start method and then run the code. And we get some error here, and that is because this should be spelled correctly. Run again. Okay, so we are getting the numbers from 1 to 10. So when this code is run, the first one that is called over here is this constructor. So it is saying creating the thread, creating a, and then after creating, the thread is started in this start method. Let's also print a message in this run method to show that the thread is running. Okay, and then run again. So the thread is first created, then it goes in the starting state, and then it is running. And then we get these numbers from 1 till 10. Now this is not very impressive because we only have one thread. Let's create one more thread and then run them together. So create T2 and we'll name this thread B, and then we will start both the threads. So T1 and T2 dot start, run, and we are getting the numbers over here. So it says creating A, creating B, starting A, starting B, and then running both A and B. And then we are getting the numbers from each of those threads. Now we don't know which thread these numbers are coming from. So let's also put the name of the thread along with the numbers. So pass the name of the thread as well as the value of I. Okay, and now you will say that thread A is created, B is created, both of them are starting and both of them are running. So we have this number 1 coming from thread A, then we have 1 coming from thread B, then 2 from thread A, 2 from thread B, and so on. Now what do you notice about the order of the numbers in which they are printed? So seems like they are running 10 by 10. So I is running, then B, then I again, then B, I, B, I, B, and so on. But the order doesn't have to be the same all the time. If I run this code again, you will notice that the order can change. So let's run this again. Okay, so this time B is running 2 times. We have 1 and 2 coming from B. Then I is running. Then we have B again. Then I. If I run this again, the order will again change. So this time again they are running one after the other, and that is because they are running in parallel. Okay, so we have done number 2 as well. We have created 2 classes. We have done this. But there's a sample code given here as well. You can also put some other messages in the class to see more information about what is happening in the code. Let us create one more thread and run it. So let's call this thread C, and we'll have t3.start. Okay, so this time we have 3 threads, creating all the threads A, B, and C, starting and then running. So when they are running, so the order, so you will notice that we have called them in this order T1, T2, and T3, and they do not have to run in the same order. They could be running in different orders. We have BAC, then we have ABB. We have B running here 4 times. Okay, so that is all for this video. Thank you for watching.